Shalom, 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 everybody. I'm just gonna wait until you guys get on in the room. Shabbat shalom. Whew. Okay, so I'm not feeling well today. Yeah, Sister Malika does get sick too. I've been so busy taking care of everybody else. Sometimes, I just neglect myself. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Diana Poe, shalom to you. So, if I sound like I have a frog in my throat today, it's because I have an upper respiratory thing going on. I've been just busy over the last few weeks, and just busy taking care of everybody else. So, you know, haven't been taking care of myself, so I have a little thing going on. So just don't mind me. I might be coughing a little bit. Do have my medicine on deck, though. Is this about helmets, huh? I don't understand that question. This old helmet? I don't understand that question. You said, is this about helmets? What are you talking about? Are you a troll? Let me know if you're a troll so I can get you out of here. What is what are you asking? Anyway, so you guys see the topic. The topic today is child molestation. I'm just waiting for some people to get on in the room, okay? Child molestation. Child molestation. A lot of us don't know what that is, what it means. Either we just don't want to know what it means, or we just choose to stay in ignorance. We're just choosing to stay in ignorance. I don't if you don't understand what child molestation is, then I don't know. You just if you're an adult and you don't understand, and somebody has to explain to you what child molestation, even if you've never been molested, if you're an adult and another person has to explain to you what child molestation is, then something is seriously wrong with you. Something is seriously wrong with you. And I noticed that a lot of people in the community are pretending like they don't understand what child molestation is. It's mind-boggling to me. So today I am going to give you the white man perspective on what they perceive child molestation to be. I'm going to give you the white man's opinion and their perspective, okay, on what they think child molestation is. Yeah, I think that was a troll there. Anyway, let me go over here. Let me go over here and give you guys what the white man says child molestation is. Since some of us are just pretending like we don't know what it is, like we just confused about what it is, Let me share my screen and go over here. In case there's any misunderstanding about what some of us, think or don't think it is. So according to the white man understanding of what child molestation is, and a lot of us, we only listen when the white man said it. You know what I'm saying? It only becomes valid to us when Esau said it. So let's just see here what Esau says child molestation is. Okay, so according to Esau, child sexual abuse, also called child molestation, is a form of child abuse in which an adult or older adolescent uses a child for sexual stimulation, right? That's what Esau is saying that child molestation is, okay? Let me read that again. Child abuse, child sexual abuse, also called child molestation, is a form of child abuse in which an adult or an older adolescent uses a child for sexual stimulation. Forms of child sexual abuse, including engaging in sexual activities with a child, whether by asking or presuming or by other means, indecent exposure of the genitals, female nipples, etc., etc., child grooming, and so on and so forth, child exploitation, child pornography, and so on and so forth, right? So if I have to explain to an adult what child molestation is, man, you might want to take a closer look at yourself, because at this point, no adult should be explaining to another adult what child molestation and violation, sexual violation against a child is. You know what I'm saying? I think we all know. I think we're just playing games here. You know, I've heard some things. I've seen grown men and women blaming the victims of child molestation. Um, I've seen, you have 12, 13, 14-year-olds that are getting violated by grown adults, and I've seen grown men blaming the children. Well, she's old enough to understand what this is. Why didn't she say something? Why didn't she walk out of the house? Why didn't she do this? How come she did that? Why didn't she do this? Well, why didn't that nasty, disgusting bastard not do what he did? Why not? Why did he do it? Why are we blaming the victim here? Let me say this. This is a very deep topic for me, and I'm going to try and hold it together. Okay, I'm going to try and hold it together. But this is a very deep topic for me, very personal topic for me, and what I see is when we talk about child molestation, we look at men, but we don't look at the women. There are young boys out there who are being violated by women. There are young girls out there who are being violated by women. Okay, so men are not the only perpetrator here. There are women out there that are violating children as well. And I'm going to say this too. The mothers, or the caretakers or the caregivers who sit by and allow the men in their lives to violate their children. See, a lot of us, I don't know, what reason you come on this live today, and maybe a lot of you is waiting for me to kind of go in on the men. It's just the men or pedophile and rapists and whatever. But there has to be balance in everything that we do. And today I'm going to bring some balance to the table here. Okay. So, yes, we do have vile, disgusting men who are violating our children, our babies, right? We do. On the other hand, we have mothers, women, who sat by in the home and allow their babies to be violated by men. And so we can blame the men all we want. We can get up all day and blame these men all we want, and a lot of, let me say this, right? These fake outcry from a lot of us. We've had a video on this channel, on this very channel, about child molestation 2 years ago. We did the video 2 years ago. And as my husband said a few days ago, that video had less than 500. We have close to 6,000 subscribers on this channel here, close to 6,000 subscribers, and in 2 years, only a little over 400 people watched that video. A little over 400 people. So all this fake outcry when something happened, you see, our people only react when drama is happening. As soon as the drama is over, it's right back to the bullshit. Excuse my language, okay? But as soon as the drama is over, see, I'm sick and tired of these fake outcry. When are we going to discuss this topic when it's no drama going on? When there's no drama going on? When are we going to just get up and make this topic here, a priority? A priority every day, not just when something happened, not just when somebody did something, right? This topic here should be a priority every single day. Less than 500 people watched that video. We had a couple of sisters and one brother in that video, and myself included was in that video, and we talk about child molestation, and we had less than 5 people who watched that, 500 people, less than 500 people. And that video has been on this channel for over 2 years. And we have close to 6,000 subscribers on this channel. And what that tells me is that a lot of you guys who are fake, acting like you care about this, is you really don't care. You really don't. Because I'm going to say this, a lot of us, I'm just using the word us loosely because I'm not included. But a lot of us who are running around pretending that a lot of us who are not saying anything at all, we're the one that's committing these acts. Yeah, I said it. Those of us who are silent, we're guilty. We're guilty. I mean, let's just be honest. If you're not talking about this, if you're not saying anything about this, if you're not crying, if you're not raising your voice and speaking against child molestation, then I got to take a closer look at you. I got to see what's going on with you and why you're not speaking up. What's going on? I'm a victim of child molestation. I am. And let me tell you this. Child molestation, right, is not some strange thing that happened to a baby by some stranger somewhere. See, this is what we don't understand. And that's why a lot of our babies get violated, because somehow we think that a child, when a child gets molested, it's some strange boogeyman somewhere from across the world that just come and molest your child. No, child molestation begins in the home. Okay? It begins in the home. It is usually done by somebody close to the child. Okay? That's what child molestation is. 99.9% of the time, it is by someone who is very close to the parents, the guardian, or whoever is in charge of the child, and someone who is very close to the child. Okay? Remember. So I'm going to explain to you guys what grooming is, because that's what child predators do with your child. They groom your children. And if you don't understand what grooming is, I'm going to explain it to you today, okay? And the fact that I have to even explain this is ridiculous. If you don't understand what grooming is, let me explain it to you. When an adult wants to groom your child, right? The process of grooming is to groom the child so they can eventually have their way with the child sexually. Okay? It doesn't just start off with them just touching the child or raping the child. Sometimes it happened like that. But in most cases, an adult will groom the child slowly. And what is grooming? Grooming is doing special things for the child, you know, taking the child to their favorite movie or their favorite baseball game, bringing the child their favorite sneakers or their favorite toy or whatever, bringing the child their, you know, their favorite food, um, you know, maybe pretending that they're reaching over and accidentally touching the child's breast or touching the child's genital accidentally, or accidentally dropping something between the child's leg so they can pick it up and accidentally touching the child's genital, you know, just these little accidental thing that the adults do, right? And slowly groom the child. Oops. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to touch your breast. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to drop that between your legs. Oops. You know, and it's slowly grooming the child. You know what I mean? I'm going to share you something with you guys to give you an example of what grooming is. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let me share my screen with you guys for a second and give you okay. I don't know what happened there. Are you guys still with me? I think my husband is calling me. Hello? Yeah, I know. All right, I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm back on. Can you guys are you guys able to hear me? Just hit one. Can you guys just hit one if you guys are able to hear me? Just hit one. Can you guys hear me? Just hit the one button if you guys can hear me. Just one. Okay, great, great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Now, I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna attempt to share my screen again. So just bear with me, guys. I'm gonna attempt to share my screen one more time. Okay. Child. Okay. Kind of shy. All right. So what I'm gonna share with you guys is this young lady here. She was molested by her father, her biological father, for 5 years. She lived in the home with both her parents, her mother and her father. And her father molested her for 5 years while her mother stood by and did absolutely nothing. Now I'm not gonna play the entire video because it's long. It's like a 20 minutes video, But I'm just going to show you a little clip of it. I'll tell you where to go and watch the entire video if you guys are interested in watching it. But I'm just going to share a part of it where she's talking about how her father was grooming her. Just listen.
A student, not much friends, just, I was a regular happy child. But what happened when I was in middle school, I believe. I was 12. I remember when I was 12. My dad, he started acting a certain way towards me. I remember when he picked me up from school every day, he started to show me, like, porn magazines. He had, like, just little porn magazines he would show me after school. And I didn't know why he was showing them to me. I didn't know. This is where it all started. He was showing me those magazines, and I just didn't understand. He wouldn't tell me why he was showing them to me. So he was just showing me all these weird sex positions and whatnot. He told me not to tell my mom, so I didn't. I was, a good child. I was somewhat of a daddy's girl back then. So I kept my mouth shut. I just dealt with it. So over time, he was showing me the magazines and whatnot. My mind started getting messed up. So I was 12, so, I was really starting to get into boys or whatever. My mind was all over the place. But anyway, over time of him doing that, he eventually started to molest me. Eventually. It started slowly. My mom would be gone, and it would just be me and him in the house, and my younger sister. And he would distract my younger sister so that he could start touching me in certain ways. And from then, it just got worse. And it turned into full-fledged abuse for a long time of my life, for about 5 years of my life. 5 whole years, for many, many nights. My dad would come and do all kinds of things to me that I will probably work up the courage to share one day in detail. But right now, this is just a background story about me. It's just a background story. So yes, from the age of 12 up until I was about 17, he was molesting me in all kind of violent ways. And my mom never knew. Supposedly she never knew. She was a very hard sleeper back then. I don't know.
All right. Now, I personally watched the entire video there, and that sister said when she finally told her mother, the mom did absolutely nothing. And the parents are still together this day. So it's, let me tell y'all something. When we say that the mom didn't know, let me tell y'all something. A mother always know. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A mother's instincts, when it comes to a mother's instincts and their children, a mother always know. So when I hear this foolishness that a mother didn't know, it's all a bunch of baloney to me. It's a bunch of baloney. It's a bunch of baloney. A woman always know when there's something going on with her child. If you don't know what's that, if you are a mother of a child and you're not in tune with your child, you don't know, you don't realize that your child's behavior is different. You don't realize that her body is different. Are you kidding me? Even the animals in the wild has instincts and they know. You telling me that a mother doesn't know when her child is being violated? So I'm going to tell you guys where to go watch that video. So for those of you who wants to continue watching, it's a very sad story. So her mom stayed with the father, but what I wanted to talk about was the grooming that her father groomed her. He started bringing home porn magazine and he had her watch them. Started showing her little images of nakedness, naked man and woman. She's a child, she's a 12-year-old. And he's showing her little disgusting magazine. So that's the beginning of grooming. He's slowly grooming her. And by the time he's done grooming her, he begins to molest her. Her own father. Her own father. So let me say this to you guys. Right? For those of you who think that a child molester is the boogeyman that lives underneath the bridge somewhere, for those of you who think that instead of child molester is some boogeyman somewhere, you're gonna have a rude awakening, because a child molester is the father in the home, the mother in the home, the sister in the home, the brother in the home, the uncle in the home, the aunt in the home, the grandmother in the home, the grandfather in the home. It's anybody, okay? It's any goddamn body, okay? And the fact that somebody has to explain this, I'm at this stage in the game, nobody should have to explain who a child molester is. A child molester is anyone in the home. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, a lot of our people are sexual deviants and cannot be trusted around children. And the ones that are not speaking up against it are the ones that are indulging in this vile behavior against our children. Let me tell y'all something, okay? And I'm going to say this, all right? Because today I'm keeping it real with y'all. I'm keeping it very, very real with y'all today. The first time I was sexually violated was by a family member, a blood sister. Okay? Yes. And that's my truth. That is my truth. So when you think that a child molester is some strange person that you take the child to the mall and some strange dude are gonna just come and molest your child. No, the child molester is in your home. And for those of you mothers who are sitting, a lot of you sisters, let me say this now. I'm gonna rant on you sisters today. You know why? Because I have seen it so many times where you mothers have the new man in the home, right? The new man in the home. He might be paying a couple of bills or whatever, right? You working hard, right? And that man is touching your child and he's violating your child, and you know it. You know it because every mother's know. Every mother's know when their child is being violated, and you don't do anything. You don't care. Why? Because hey, he's paying the bills. He's paying the bills. He's buying the grocery. He's paying the car note. He's doing something. You know what I mean? So you sit by and you watch and you allow your child to be violated. Let me tell y'all something. You mothers, for those of you who have done that, you need to be put out of your misery. I kid you not. And I'm not taking that back. You need to be put out of your misery. Okay? You and that disgusting demon need to be put out of your misery. No child deserve to have their innocence taken away from them. None whatsoever. And anybody in this community, I'm talking about the Hebrew Israelite community, anybody in this community that has, the problem with us, let me say this, the problem with us, right? Whenever we see somebody comes into the community and they are, they have their, they have their little garments on, and they have, you know, um, good speech, right? They have big words, right? And they call themselves leaders, right? And they get on there and they have the big words, and they dress nicely. And a lot of you guys worship these people. Worship. And it's like it becomes like idol worshiping. I've seen it every day. I've seen it where you guys just worship these people, right? And so it's the worshiping, it's the idol worshiping of these people that allows these people to come on in and violate the children, because you put too much trust in men, way too much trust in men. So now I'm going to ask you guys a question, right? What do you do when you see a child, when you know that a child is being violated, what do? Ask yourself that question. What do you do? If they, especially if they're being violated by somebody who is supposed to be a so-called leader. And see, so that's the problem in the community. We put so much worshiping on this leader person, and now a child is being molested, and we don't know what to do. Huh? We don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. I'm going to share my screen again. Right? So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this video here. I'm sure a lot of you guys have listened to this right here, right?
TV.
Hold on.
Up close.
So this is the video here, right? That I'm sure we've all know what's been going on in the community in the last couple of weeks, right? With the brother called Nasi, right? Okay. So here's the video, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have watched. And my problem with this video is when this guy here, I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to play it for you in a second. This guy here, come on here and ask this question. Let me play this.
Were removed. And did she say which items of clothing, or she just said her clothes?
She said her skirt and underwear.
Okay, so her skirt and her underwear was... Her skirt and underwear was what? Slick out?
Her skirt and underwear were down.
Okay. All right. So her skirt and underwear were pulled down, at which point she was awakened to not see...
I'm sorry, guys. You know what?
How are you? Hello. I think it came up was because...
All right, let me go back to my screen. I think something happened to that video there. I wanted to share. For those of you who watched the video, you probably know what I'm talking about. There was a guy that came on the video, and after all the testimony that was given by the people, by the females there, this one guy came and he asked, what, like, give me concrete evidence. Now the little girl said she was touched, right? She was physically touched. She woke up and her underwear was down, her skirts was up, right? And this gentleman wants to know, okay, I need concrete proof. Was she penetrated? As if having your panties down and your skirt up is not a problem. So this man was looking for concrete proof that the child was violated, right? So a 13-year-old finds herself in a bed sleeping, and she wakes up and her underwear is pulled down and her skirt is pulled up, right? And that's not enough for some folks, because that guy wants to know, where's the concrete proof that she was violated, right? That's what he's asking. That's what he's asking. Where is the proof? As if it's not enough that this little baby, a 13-year-old is a child, okay? As if it's not enough that she woke up with her panties down. You know what I'm saying? So we have men in the community who cannot be trusted. I'm sorry. And we also have women in the community that cannot be trusted. We have mothers in the community that cannot be trusted. My question is, where is that child's mother? Where is her mother? Where was she this whole time? And then we're gonna go back to the mothers again, okay? Because I'm a woman and I'm talking to you sisters, okay? You need to stop pretending. You need to stop pretending. You need to stop holding these men as some type of idol. If you know your child is being molested, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? A lot of you sisters are desperate, man. A lot of you sisters are too desperate. A lot of you guys, a lot of you sisters are desperate for a man. And you're so desperate that you would keep a man in the home knowing that he's molesting your children, your daughters, your son. I've seen it all the time. I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm trying to gather myself. A brother asked a question earlier. Let me see if I see it here. A brother asked a question, and I need to go back to it, okay, because this is very important. Brother, I hope I'm saying your name right. Eliezer. I'm not good with pronunciation of Hebrew words. Yashar Allah, you ask a question. I'm going to go back to the question here. Give me 1 second. You wanted to know about boys that are molested. Okay, what is a boy supposed to do when this happened to him by a woman? Some people don't take that as serious. I take that very serious because a lot of the deviant behaviors that you see in young boys and men now is because they have been molested by both men and women. I know quite a few men who have been molested by women, and that's not there's nothing, the thing is, when a boy get molested by a woman, it becomes a joke. You have the grown men, they laugh about it. They laugh. Yeah, you're a man now, and they don't understand the psychological effect that this has on a boy. That's rape. Any type of sexual violation against a child, any child, whether it's a boy or a girl, it's rape. Okay, so if there's a boy that got violated by a female, it's rape. Whether whatever you want to call it, it's a violation, a sexual violation against a child, and that's nothing to laugh about. And that boy is gonna grow up and become a sexual deviant because his innocence have been taken away from him. And so that's why when you see a lot of these young men running around here just from one female to the next, just screwing everybody all over the place, can't just settle down and get himself together, it's because something happened to that boy. Something happened. And a lot of these young girls that you see running around here, just screwing everybody. A lot of the times these things happen to them. And they don't know how to internalize that. And they don't know how to get over it. And a lot of the mental illness that you see in our people is caused by sexual molestation. And it's a cycle, and we just want to know when it's going to stop. When is it going to stop? When? When is it going to stop? When are we going to stop it? When are we going to stop staying silent? Mothers, I'm talking to you sisters. When are we going to speak up when we know that a child is being taken advantage of? When? When are we going to put our respect for the elders aside and speak up? All this, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, because we've been holding these so-called elders to such a high standard, and when they violate our children, we don't know what to do about it. I did ask anybody if they wanted to come on this live and tell and talk, if any one of you guys want to come on here and talk to us about something that may have happened to you, you are free to get on here. Let me know down here in the chat, okay? If any of you guys want to get on here, let me know. There was a brother who wanted to come on here, but I haven't spoken to him. I did send him an email, brother Isaiah. If you're watching, you are willing. You are more than. Give me 1 second. You can get on here if you want. All right. And any of you sisters as well. Wow, Mike Tyson was molested. Well, there you have it. There you have it. Does any of you sisters or brothers want to get on here and speak? You are welcome to join me on the live. Okay? But Heavenly 13, you want to get on here? Let me know. Let me know. Because I wanted to do this today to give you guys an opportunity to get on here and speak and tell us, just talk to us. If you have a story to tell, just tell it. This platform is open. Oh, okay. Okay. Since I thought you said yes. So I was, sorry about that. I thought you said yes. Yeah, so I wanted to do this today because I wanted to give, for those of you, an opportunity to get on here and tell your story. If you have a story to tell, this platform is open to anyone who want to speak and tell their story. So just let me know if you guys want to get on here. All right. Yeah. So the grooming, the grooming. The grooming is the most important part of sexual molestation, and mothers and fathers needs to watch out for the grooming process, okay? And a lot of you guys are not in tune with what that is. The father's best friend, the mom's best friend, the mom's boyfriend, right? The favorite uncle in the family, and so on and so forth. Those people groom your children. Pay close attention when your child is being groomed. Close attention to the things that they're bringing home that you didn't give to them. Pay close attention when they are missing from the home and they were at somebody's house. They were at, the favorite uncle's house, or when the favorite uncle comes over, you got to pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? And the woman too. The sisters, the brothers. You got to pay attention. Pay close attention. If you guys don't understand, lack understanding of the scripture. Brother Yasher Allah, what are you tell me, what are you is there anything that you can suggest as far, you said we need a place for the children to heal. If you want to give us a suggestion, you know what I mean, maybe we can all come together and figure this out. Maybe we can all come together and figure this out, because the children need to heal, but we also need to stop protecting the child molesters among us. We need to make sure that, while some children are healing, then you have more children that are being violated. So how do we get these people out of the community? How do we weed these people out? Who is a child molester? How do we get rid of them? How long are we going to keep them in the community? And why does nobody want to talk about this? Every time we bring up this topic, nobody wants to talk about it. We have 33 people on this live, right? A few days ago, I announced in the group of over 6,000 people that I was going live to talk about child molestation. And today we only have 33 people on the live. Well, at least that's what I'm seeing here. 33 people. And that's a clear indication that no one gives a rat's behind about this topic. You know why? Because majority of the people who are staying silent about child molestation are the ones that are violating the children. Men and women. Men and women. Men and women. Why are we staying silent? Why aren't we speaking up? This little young girl here that was molested by this gentleman here. I wouldn't even say the word gentleman, but Nasi Yashavel, whatever his name is. I don't know if the brother is guilty or not guilty. Okay, but I do know that the things that I'm hearing is disgusting. It's disturbing. It's not looking good, and I just want to know, where's the mother? And what did she do? It all comes around to the mothers. You see what I'm saying? Because let me say this to you, mothers and sisters, right? Let me say this to you, mothers. You could have a man molesting the children all day long, right? But it is your responsibility as a mother to protect your child from sexual violation. Mothers, if the men are not going to protect the children, you need to protect your children. So today I'm calling on all the sisters, all y'all sisters. It is your responsibility to protect these babies. If the men are not going to do it, if the men are not going to do it, I'm just saying, if they're your babies, if they're not going to do it, you do it. If you know that there's a child being violated somewhere, for God's sake, man, speak up. Don't be afraid. I just got a phone call today by a grown woman, right? From a job that I haven't worked in 5 years. I haven't been at that job in 5 or 6 years. And this woman is calling me, asking me for help because her supervisor, her boss, is now violating her at work, sexually violating her at work. And she needs my help, right? And this is a grown woman. I haven't worked there in 5 years, but she's asking me for help, you see? And she's speaking out. And she's speaking out to me, but she's afraid. She's afraid. We got to speak up. We got to speak up. I don't know. I know I'm all over the place here, and that's because this is I get very emotional when I talk about this. I do. So I know I'm all over the place, and I'm sorry, guys. And I'm not feeling well today, and I thought long and hard about doing this topic today. It's a very personal topic for me, and you know, I'm trying to contain myself is what I'm trying to do. So pardon me if I'm all over the place, guys. I'm sorry. Sister Heavenly, you said you would like to say something. This happened to my daughter, and this is the very first time I'm actually going over this topic. Sister Whitney, you said that happened to your daughter. Would you like to share that with us? What exactly did you do? Did you know who it is? Did you catch the person? You want to tell us what happened? I mean, I personally don't have a lot much to say on this topic. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. As I said, I just I wanted to do this live to give sisters or brothers an opportunity to come on here and join me and tell their stories. So would you like to come on, Sister Whitney? So the platform is is for you guys to get on here and talk to us, and let's come to a solution together. So that's why I wanted to do this live today. I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to talk. So this really is not about me. This is about me wanting to give a platform to you to come and speak and talk to us, and tell your stories, whatever that story is. If you're covering up for somebody, you know what I mean? If your child, if you, or whatever it is, if something happened, now is the time to speak up. We cannot continue to cover up and protect these people anymore. We can't. So, as I mentioned, I really don't have much to say on this topic, really, other than what I've already said. I really just wanted to open the platform for you guys to come on in here and and say what you want to say. So again, if any of you sisters or brothers wants to get on the live with me and tell your story, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. That's fine. Okay. I'll send you the link right now. You can come on here and you can talk. You can talk freely. All right. Let me know in the chat. Sister Ada Davis, you said you're 52 now, and the first time it happened, you were 6 years old. Wow. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, sis. I'm sorry to hear that. Sister Heaven Lee, you said you want to get on the chat, on the live. Do you have a story to tell? Okay, sister, I'm gonna let just one person at a time get on. I'm just gonna give you guys just a few minutes to say what what it is that you want to say. Sister Whitney, okay, so I'm gonna give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the link. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put the link down here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the link down here. You guys can get on here. Okay, so that's the link. Just get on YouTube, get on that link, and you can get on in. So, Sister Whitney, yeah, if you want to get on the live, there's a link. I just shared it there. We have to start coming forward. We can't stay silent anymore about this. Every time I make a post about some ratchetness, I get a million likes and comments, and every time I make a post about child molestation, maybe about 2 people respond. Maybe about 2 people have something to say. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody. It's like the silent killer in our community. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to talk about it. Sister, are you getting on here? Do you Okay. All right, Sister Whitney. Hi, how are you?
Good. I actually just woke up. I was trying to hurry up and get to your live when I woke up. I'm like, I'm missing it. I'm missing it. But yes, my daughter, me and her father was together for, and excuse me because I literally just woke up.
That's all right.
But me and her father was together for like 5 years. It was like a real huge domestic abuse type of relationship, and he used to put his hands on me a lot. Um, why, I don't know. Probably because he didn't work and I worked, and that kind of affected him a lot. But we ended up having our daughter, and he actually was my first. He's actually the first guy that I ever had sex with. Took my virginity, and I got pregnant like 3 times after the first time. So when we had our daughter, fast forward, when we had our daughter, and when she became like 3 years old, the domestic violence was so bad at that time frame that I don't know, I was kind of scared. And we went to her dad house, his side of the family house. We never, not once went there before. Like we never used to, because I didn't trust nobody. That was just my own personal, me not trusting people. So, but this was the first time we ever went over there, and I remember it like it was yesterday. She was 3, and she she has little like some other little cousins over on this side. It's like a she was 3 at the time. Her girl cousin was 3 at the time, and their boy cousin was 2 at the time. And so all the grown ups, all of us was watching like something on BET at that time frame. And it was me, all the adults, me, her dad, his mom, his dad, his sister, everyone was in this one room watching these music videos and stuff like that. And all the kids were in the kids' room, like the kids' room. And they had this little cousin who was, I think, 11 at the time. And his mom was on drugs, and she was like she was on drugs. And my kid's dad mom adopted him as one of her own, since because they were technically cousins. They are cousins in real life, but he got adopted by her, so he didn't have to go into foster care or whatever. So literally everybody just watching TV, everything's cool. Mind you, this is the first time I ever went to their house. Everything cool, everything is just cool. Next thing you know, his sister walks out the room, and then next thing you know, she comes back. Oh my gosh, what? And she yelling, and she's so frantic, and everybody jumping up like, what is going on? Like, what are you talking? What's going on? He's like, him. He was just touching it. He was just doing this to the, and all this, like panicking so much, and saying that, the little guy who's 11-year-old was just trying to have sex with them, like had them bent over. My daughter bent over. And so I'm like, what? I didn't even know how to like grasp, because since I didn't physically see anything, I'm like, what is going on? My daughter 3, like what? And at that time, I'm like, what? It don't even make sense to me. But it didn't really click into me until after the fact. And I'm all like, what if this little boy really did just do this? Like, I don't have proof, but come on. And my daughter can't say nothing. She's only 3. So I can't even, you know, I don't know what to believe. I'm really just not knowing. And my kid's dad, he was finna demolish that little boy. They had to literally take the boy out of the house because my kid's dad was about to kill him. Like he was literally killing. But his dad, my kid's dad, their grandpa, he took the little boy out of the house. Like they didn't want nobody to hit him or anything like that. And that was that. So I don't know what happened to him after that, but we went to the hospital. And it turned out that my daughter, their cousin, and the little boy all had chlamydia. And yes, that's how we found out. And they told us it was through penetration. And so since they were so young and tiny, and he was so old, he couldn't, since he didn't actually be able to go in them because they were so small. But due to him trying to, they ended up still contacting chlamydia. And at that point, I felt like I just blamed everything on me. I blamed everything on me.
You can't
I
do
still
that.
to this day,
No,
Hmm.
no, you can't. You can't blame yourself. You didn't do anything
I
wrong.
Yeah, and it'd be so hard for me not to think that way. My daughter is about to be 8 now, but it still bothers me. Like I still think about this. It's nothing I can
Well, there's nothing you could have done.
feeling like that was my fault. Like I didn't even know how to go about it. My daughter didn't never grow up to this day. I feel like now, like a couple weeks ago, um, I have caught her watching like some type of it was on YouTube, and it was called something like Girls Kissing Girls or Lesbian Girl, and she's 7. And I'm like, where is she getting this from? And nobody in my family knows this. You're the first person I'm actually saying this to. Well, everybody on
Oh,
this line.
praises to the
But
Most High, sis.
yeah, so nobody in my family actually knows this. This is something I've been dealing with for a long time, ever since that happened. And it's just something that I always felt like was my fault. Like I always feel like this is my fault. And I never knew how to go from it. Like I never knew how to get over it, or how I can get over it, or how I can help my daughter. I've been in it alone, so I didn't really know.
Let me say this to you, sis. Let me say this to you, right?
Mhm.
You said the boy was 11.
I think he was 10 or 11.
All right. Now let me say this. That boy has been raped. Okay?
Mhm.
That's a baby. Someone in that home has been raping the child.
Mhm.
Okay? And I don't know how old the child is now, but there's a possibility that he could still be being that home being violated in that home. Someone violated that child, and he could possibly it could possibly be still going on. A child doesn't know what sex is
Mhm.
unless it's been shown to them or unless it's
Right.
done to them. And a child does not develop chlamydia on their own.
Yep.
Okay, so the fact that that little 10-year-old boy was able to penetrate your daughter and someone else's child and give them chlamydia, clearly, clearly, somebody has been having sexual intercourse with that boy and gave that poor boy a disease. Now,
Mhm.
the question is, has anyone tried getting some help for that boy, number one, and number two, has anyone gotten to the bottom of who has been sexually violating that baby, that boy?
And the thing is, he actually went to, since he was so young, he couldn't go to juvenile, or he couldn't go to jail. So they took him to a center for counseling and all that type of stuff. But he was untouchable. Like we couldn't reach him, we couldn't talk to him, we couldn't do anything. So I haven't seen him since that day. Literally. We had an open case to try to find out all of that stuff. But they threw it out because he was so young, and it didn't hold, they said it didn't hold any value.
It,
So
it doesn't, because that's a baby repeating the act of what has been done to him. So I mean,
mhm.
yeah, be honest with you, sis. I know, having seeing your daughter go through what she went through, right? I
Yeah.
know the first reaction is to find somebody to blame. In this case, it's another baby. It's another
Mhm.
baby, and the adult that did it to that boy is still walking around out there somewhere.
Yes.
So
And
we
I still
you see what we so what happened is, this is what goes on in the community, right? We look at the children, but we're not
mhm.
looking at the adult,
Yep.
because that little boy is just an innocent baby that is repeating something that was done to him. And what we didn't do was find out the adult that
Mhm.
was violating him, and probably possibly still is violating that poor child. Okay?
Yep.
We didn't turn our attention to the adult. Where is the adult? Who is the adult that is molesting this child? Where
Yep.
is he or she?
Right. And that's one thing
That's
I
what
was
should have been done. When they brought him to council, they should have figured out who is violating this baby.
Yep. And they didn't want to. All his mom, my kids' dad, mom, and their sisters, not all of the sisters, because one of his sister's child, it happened to her too, her daughter. But Well, actually, both of his sisters, because one sister had the boy and the other sister had the girl. It happened to all three at this on the same night. So when we came across that topic and was like, well, where the hell? Like, where the hell did it come from? Because, like you said, you can't get chlamydia on your own. And his grandma, his grandpa, all they wouldn't want to go and testify. They wouldn't want to do anything. They just would blame it on that he was just always gone. Because even though he was always gone, I mean, it could have been, like you said, it could be anybody. So it could have been some little girl off the street. He did used to be talking to a lot of little girls, but who knows? But I don't
It
know.
could have been grandpa, sis. It could have been grandma. It could have been
Grandma.
auntie.
That's
It
what
could
I
have been
said.
anybody. See, that's the thing is when we looking at some strangers in the street and we're not looking at the people in the home. It could have been somebody in that house. Okay, it could have
Yeah.
been anybody.
Me personally, I think it flat out was his cousin. It's a girl cousin, and that's who I particularly think that it was. But I don't have any proof. But they don't ever like tension. Like if you ask sensitive questions, they would just if you ask sensitive questions, they will just throw it off. Like they will just no, that can't be true. No, no, you need to stop talking like that. What? No, my daughter is involved. So what the? No, we need to talk about this. But no, what they do, they run away. And they always run away. Till this day, they still run away about this situation. He's like, you know what? I don't even. That was so long ago. I don't really know what could have happened. And that was then. This is now. That was then. This is now. Come on now, stop. They don't like. It's a touchy subject for them. They scared to talk about stuff like that. I don't know why.
Let me ask you a question, sis. How's your daughter doing? Is her health? Did she get over the chlamydia? Did that heal? Uh,
Yes,
is she still suffering from that, or
she actually did get over it. All three
okay?
of them actually did. They gave them whatever whatever cures it, they had
Right.
gave it to him
Thank
that
God.
night in the hospital.
Okay.
Wait, I'm on the phone. Wait. What do you want? Hold on. What do you want? Here. Yeah, when they left the hospital.
Is that the daughter?
No, that's my
Okay.
son. My daughter, Dallas.
Well, we don't have to bring the kid on,
Oh,
sis. We don't have to bring
oh,
the children on. You know.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Um.
but yeah, they gave it to him as soon as they left the hospital. They had
Okay. So she's physically she's been healed from that, but mentally, that's the problem.
yeah, she like I say, she's like a really super super happy kid. Super happy, super smart. And just like she's kind of similar to me, like a real fun, don't like to see the bad things on things, try to just see the good things out of the good and everything. But she do have one thing that she does is that she will break down very real easy. It's real easy for her to break down. Like she's in second grade now, so and I homeschool her,
Right.
homeschool both of them, actually. So I get to see everything firsthand, and she's really a down like she downs herself a lot, and she always can point the blame on herself, even if it's something that's clearly not her fault.
She needs some counseling, sis, and
Yeah,
you also need some counseling because you can't continue to blame yourself for this.
yeah,
You didn't do anything wrong. And you actually responded and reacted accordingly. When you found out what was going on, you didn't sit back and let it happen. You can't blame yourself. You can't continue to blame yourself.
yeah.
But you and your daughter need some much needed counseling.
Hmm.
However long it's going to take for you guys to heal.
Yeah,
But you do need some counseling. You and the baby need some much needed counseling. Um,
yeah,
you know, we gotta stay on this topic, and we gotta I am going to try and build a community of people that can help, our people who have gone through this situation here, because not everyone knows how to deal with situation. Everyone, we're all
Yeah.
different. Some people are not strong enough to deal with these type of situations. Some of us get over it. We talk about it, we get over it, and some people, unfortunately, they end up with depression. They end up with psychological problems, and so we need to put together something in this community, which I'm going to be working on, so we can help our people who have gone through this type of situation. Our babies, we're talking about a 3-year-old and a 10-year-old, both babies, both
Yep.
babies. Um, I just need to know, I mean, seriously, what's happening to that person who is, I don't know who that person is. I wish I knew, because I probably would do something if I knew who these people were, and
You want?
I would get to the bottom of who is molesting, or who was or is molesting that little 10-year-old boy.
Yep.
That is just sad. That's sad. That's very, very sad, and I don't. I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
Yeah.
And,
I
and,
didn't even know.
brother Yasha Arla, good point. Good point. All this sleepover, all this letting your baby sleeping over at somebody's house. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing that, because the boyfriend or the husband or the uncle or the
Yep.
teenage boy or girl who's touching the babies. You listen, man. Stop letting the babies, sleep, doing all this sleepover. You're right, brother. You're right.
Uh,
Absolutely correct.
yep. And I
You're
don't do
absolutely
that.
correct.
I don't do that. Like, anybody wants to see Dallas, they literally have to come to my house. I don't even do that. Even
Absolutely.
like I don't, cause I know myself, and I know I wouldn't do something like that. So, I can't. Her father been he didn't had a whole 4 other kids with a whole nother lady and everything. I don't even let her go over there no more unless I absolutely have to.
Right.
Luckily, his fiance is actually, from what I know and what I see, is not like, she's very protective of her kids as well. So that's one good thing I can say about that. But they don't go over there. They don't. I can't trust anybody. So
I hear you.
it's
I
just so
think
sad.
somebody else wants to get on here, Sister Heavenly. All right. Just I'll put you on in a minute, sis. Let me just finish up with Sister Whitney. Sister Whitney, thank you. Thank you. It takes a lot of courage for you to get on here, and I appreciate that. I have a lot of respect for you for doing that. Thank you for coming on here and telling that man, and keep in touch. Keep in touch with me, because now, if I need to know what I need to know, who is responsible for violating that boy. I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
we need to get to the bottom of that. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
serious. We need to get to the
Yeah.
bottom of who violated that little boy. You see,
Yeah.
somebody did, and somebody might possibly still be doing that to him.
Still.
You know what I'm saying? So we, I hate to say this. I hate to say this, even though we want to blame the little boy. I couldn't blame him, sis. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really could.
Yeah.
I really want to. I couldn't. He's a baby. I really
Yeah.
couldn't blame the little bit. He's 10 years
Yeah.
old. He's 10 years old, and I guarantee
Mm-hmm.
you, by the time he reached 20 years old, and if you ever sit down and talk to him, I bet you it would tear him up. It would tear him apart. I bet
Yep.
you that would, because he's 10. We're talking about a
Yep.
10-year-old baby. He doesn't know what he's doing, because somebody was doing that to him. So
Yep.
I cannot in my right mind even blame that little 10-year-old boy. I know we're looking for somebody to blame, but what we're looking in the wrong direction. We're looking in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
We missed the people who violated that kid. That's what
Yep.
we're looking at. You know, I would
Yep.
personally like to get to the bottom of that story. I need to know who's molesting that boy. You see.
Yeah.
But anyway, sis,
I was.
you
Yeah, it
know,
took me years to actually realize that, like, dude, he don't get this type of behavior on his own.
right.
But even when we,
I
because I
wonder
know I
if
gotta
he got
go.
over his chlamydia. Did he? Do you know if they that if you know and if maybe the person who is violating him probably continue to violate him, so he probably has some type of illness now, because those
Yeah.
type of illness leads to different type of illness, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so God knows what's happening to that poor child.
Yeah.
My
And I
God.
don't even know where he is. Nobody knows where he is. They took him away, and we never seen him again. Like, we just
Wow.
never seen him again. When that first happened, they made my daughter get counseling. Like, that was part of
The
everything. Like,
process, right?
but she wouldn't respond so well, and then they ended up throwing out his case. You remember I told you they threw it out? When they threw it out, they no longer said she needed the counseling. We still tried to counsel her, but
Right. Of
it
course.
became really, really, really hard to get her to talk about this. She hasn't talked about it
Right.
since then.
Right.
So I'm happy that you actually had me on this, because this actually opened the door for me to build the courage up to actually start trying to see about getting her some more counseling so
You
she
should.
can open up.
Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. I'm
I've
happy
been scared
to
to
have
talk
you, sis.
about this for a long time. So it's time for me to actually probably definitely try to find out what I need to do next before she gets too old.
Yes. Keep in touch with me, sis. Keep in touch, okay?
Mhm.
Keep in touch.
All praises.
I appreciate you for coming on.
Thank
All
you for
right.
having
Thank you.
me.
Thank you. All right.
Shalom.
Shalom, sis. Shalom. Hi, sis.
Hi,
Hi,
Shalom.
sis. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Now, I would like for a brother to get on here too. You know, this is not just a sister problem.
No, it's
Before I
not.
get- before I we begin, Sister Heavenly, for if there's any brothers who are watching this and y'all want to get on here, you guys are the leaders in our community. You guys are I mean, your voice hold a lot of weight. You see, and when you allow this the woman to just do it, it doesn't get anywhere. Sometimes we need the brothers to speak, man. We need the brothers to talk about this stuff too. The woman can't just be talking, man. We need the brothers to get on here. Okay, so now, holy saints and apostle, are you a brother or a sister? Let me know if you're a brother. Okay, all right, and then thank you. And then you can get on here. All right. So Sister Heavenly, yes. So you have something to tell us?
Yeah. First and foremost, I just want to say, quiet, Amaya. I just wanted to say that I'm so very thankful that you did bring this out. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are bringing this out to the forefront. However, as far as for us, speaking about it, and the sister before me, she spoke up about what happened to her daughter, and hopefully everything will get resolved and everything will she'll be at peace with herself and not blame herself first and
Right.
foremost. um I was never molested as a child. However, as a teenager, we got to speak about this as well. I remember I had several friends. I have, everyone has friends, and I remember going to one of my friends' home, and it was a male guy, and it was so funny because when I went there, everything seemed okay. Everything was fine. Then things started shifting, and it was kind of weird. And I found myself being thrown on the bed and him on top of me. And I swear, I was like 15 years old, and I swear I was like, okay, stop playing. I'm thinking he's playing around again. you're so in it, you don't know what's really going on. You like, okay, all right, now back up, you know. And I'm like, stop playing, get up, get off. And he wouldn't. And I'm like, I'm gonna scream. And he's like, okay, my dad's not gonna say anything. This is my room, whatever. Man, I had to fight so hard. It was so crazy. And I wasn't hurt, I wasn't violated, but almost. I hightailed it out of that place so fast. I never spoke to the guy. I never spoke about the situation until later on in life, because I wanted to make it be known, you know, as far as who you think are your friends, who you think you may know, who you think you can trust. Even as a teenager, our judgments can be off. Our judgments can be off. So yeah, it can happen to a 6-year old with uncle and daddy and stepbrother or stepsister, whoever. But as a teenager, you have to have better judgment. You got to really think things through. And who you think are your friends are really not. They are there. Who knows how long this guy was thinking about something like that. So yeah, that was very traumatizing for me at that point. Um, like I said, I really don't talk about that, but for this, I definitely will.
How old was he?
That's the thing. Again, this wasn't uncle, this wasn't dad, this wasn't stepdad. This was a friend who was my age. He was in the same
Okay.
like school with me. Like we were friends. You know what I mean?
I
But
noticed you said you weren't a child, but a 15-year-old is a child.
that's right. That is
15
correct.
year old is a child. So I guarantee you that that child who was the same age as you was being violated by someone else.
Mm,
I guarantee you. If he wasn't, it happened in the past. At some point in his life, he had been sexually violated by somebody. I guarantee you. You know, the sister who violated me, she was violated.
mm,
Um, these type of deviant behavior, it's like it's passed down. It's passed down. You see what I mean? It doesn't just stop because once you do it to a child, um, the child consider it to be a normal behavior and they want
right.
to do it to somebody else because they don't know better, you see. So children who commit these type of act to other children, they themselves, we need to not so much focus on the child. We should, but we need to focus on who is committing these things against the child. Who in the child's life is violating that child? Because somebody is violating the child. And that's what a lot of us are not looking at. We pay so much attention to the child who's doing the act, but we're not looking for the adult who caused that child to be doing that type of behavior.
Right.
Somebody did. Somebody did. Someone
Right.
did. It could have been a woman or a man, you know, because women are out here molesting boys and girls. Yes, a lot of women do. And a lot of women don't have a problem sitting back and watch children being molested. A lot
Mm,
of women get off on that.
that's
Yes,
true.
yes. That's why you see a
Mm,
lot of these women, are involved in
abduction.
child abduction and child exploitation and child sex ring, and a lot of these things
That is
happen
correct.
with a lot of women are involved in these things. That Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, a lot of the people that a lot of his victims became victim as a result of women that he had recruiting these victims.
Coercing the children in.
You understand? Yes.
Correct.
So there
Absolutely.
are a lot of women involved in violating children. And that's why my focus is mainly on the women that are allowing these things to happen to their children, especially mothers.
Right.
Mothers who have a man in the home, some new guy that she met, brought him into the home. He's paying the rent, he's paying the this, he's paying the bills, and she just turned a blind eye on this guy who's molesting her children.
Mm-hmm.
That's sickening to me.
It's
And I
disgusting.
say any woman like that needs to be put out of their misery. That's how I feel about it. Any woman, any black woman, I don't care who you are, any black woman who sits around and allow a child to be violated by a man, and you know it's happening, and you do nothing, and you allow it to happen, you need to be put out of your misery. And if I can do it myself, I will. I kid you not. I will do it in a heartbeat. Let me listen. Y'all know I'm Benjamite. I'm from the Caribbean, right? Now, a lot of this happens in the Caribbean, a lot, okay? A lot of this. Child abuse happens in the Caribbean a lot, okay? But you do have some people, you do have some of us in the Caribbean who don't play that shit. And a lot of us, whether we agree with it or not, what we call vigilante justice. You know what I mean? If a child go missing or if a child gets raped in the community, just a few months ago, a young girl in Jamaica got abducted, raped, and killed in the
Mm.
community. And I kid you not, the community came together, and let's just say that his body parts was all over the place.
Oh well.
Okay, and that's how a lot of us do it in Jamaica. Now, I'm not giving anybody any ideas. I'm just saying that you deserve death when you violate a child. That's how I feel about it. That's how Sister Malika feel about it, and I don't care how you feel about how I feel. I feel that if you violate a child, an innocent child, I don't care who you are, my father, my brother, whoever you are in my life, you deserve death. I kid you not. That's just how I feel about it. I am very, very passionate about this topic. I am. The violation against children is a big thing for me. Sister Shani, I'm gonna put the link again. I'm gonna put the link again. There it is, sis. If you want to get on. So that's just how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. I think anybody who violates children, I think anybody who allows children to be violated needs to be put out of their misery. I kid you not.
Con.
Anybody. Brother Holy Saints, I think we're gonna let this brother come on.
Okay. It was a pleasure, and you
Thank you,
for
sis, for
letting me get
joining me. And
that.
I'm really sorry that happened to you. And I'm glad nothing went further than it did. Thank the Most High for that. Yeah,
The only thing that I will say about
yeah,
that is make sure you guys carry something. I'm not saying to be violent, but maybe some mace, a knife, whatever, just in case something like that happens, and you just need to defend yourself. So,
yeah, yeah.
on that note, Shabbat Shalom. Everyone have a safe and wonderful day.
Shabbat shalom, sis. So brother, I did just share the link. For those who wants to join me again, let me share it one more time. Let me share it again. There it is, sisters. That's the link down there. I just shared it. So, brother, Holy Saints and Apostle, you said you wanted to join me. Just click that. There's a link there, brother. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. I'm waiting for Sister Shawnice. Did you see the link, sis? Let me know if you want to get on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not feeling too well today. All right. Shalom, shalom, Ak.
Hey, shalom, shalom. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Yeah, I just happened to jump on the class, um, the discussion that you're having. I'm not going to be too long because we're getting ready to head out for camp, but I definitely wanted to, you know, offer, my 2 cents and my experiences uh, with the topic. So I guess I'll just jump right into it. Um, as a leader of a congregation, our congregation is here in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, and I had never come into this type of situation of molestation or rape, but when it finally came to the door, it's something that you're not expecting, but it's something that you soon learn that you have to deal with. A congregant, their son was molested at a very, very young age, around age of 4 or 5. Um, he's in his teens now, his early teens, 13, 14. And, he feels that he's a homosexual. That's the lifestyle that he feels that, he's supposed to live. And not just that, but also feels that he is a woman. Um, so there's a lot with this situation, with these types of situations. Um, Counseling to the child, of course, was is something that I've had to do, and but with him it was a little more difficult because the child, now at the age of 13, he's in a state of where he's rebelling against his family, fighting with his mother, father, fighting with the other children in the house. He's 13, so now he thinks he can run out the house, and if the mother tells him something, and he doesn't like it, he can run out the house and come back whenever he wants to. So I've been dealing more with the father. Um, the father knows how it happened. It was actually through a previous relationship. The the child's mother, and who the father is with today is not the child's mother, but the child's mother had a drug addiction, and the father had no one else to babysit. He allowed the mother to babysit her own child, and somewhere during that time, maybe she needed drugs or someone else was around. She didn't have any money. She had her child, and somehow that's the story that I was told about how it happened. Um, so it's a very serious thing, very serious topic. What I've been doing is actually counseling the father, because the father has been seeing signs. He's known about this for almost 10 years now. But now you come into the truth, you wake up to who you are, you enter a congregation. I wish we weren't the only ones that told him to go get this child help. He should have been receiving counseling, at 5 years old, at 6 years old, not waiting till 13. Now he believes he's a full-blown homosexual. Um, so, these are some of the trials that we have to deal with this topic. And, I want to encourage anyone going through this. Yes, seek out spiritual counsel first. Seek out spiritual counsel from your leadership, whoever you're with, if you're in the community. But yes, don't be afraid of medical attention, medical help. I referred them to a mental house, or not a mental house, but a office where they can receive counseling and one-on-one child abuse and prevention and different things like that. And then also, being a spiritual leader, going there, I had to go to the office and also make sure that he received the right counsel. I informed the counselors that yes, I'm also sitting with the child, and I'm still going to sit with the child. I'm still going to sit with the family. I'm the spiritual advisor, and I had to let them know what our beliefs are. because, why is this important? Because you don't want to go get counseling for your child. And with the LGBT agenda that's going on currently, a counselor, you don't know what their mindset is. They may tell your child, oh, well, that's okay. You
Right.
can be who you want to be, and
Yeah.
that's fine, and this and that. So I had to let them know right away that we do not accept that lifestyle. And that's not what we believe, and that's not what we feel is the right way. Obviously, homosexuality, what we're speaking about, it's a sickness because the child, this was something that was done to him. This was an attack on him, and now he thinks he's a homosexual. It's not natural. This is not a natural thing. So I have to stay along with the counseling. I try to stay in the loop just to make sure of what's being said and make sure that certain agendas aren't being pushed. And they accepted it. They were pretty fine. As a representative of the community, also I had to let them know, look, even though we don't accept that lifestyle, no one's abusing the child. No one is physically harming the child because we don't agree with where he's at right now or what he's doing currently. So it's important, and our leaders, our brothers, our camp leaders, the priests, the elders, we have to be involved in this discussion. It's a beautiful thing. Like, it's not just the men, it's not just Sisters of Maccabee. This is a nation problem.
Yes,
And this is
sir.
something that we have to come together, both
Sir.
sides, and work. It's important that the sisters have an outlet where you can, maybe a sister wants to deal with another sister at first, or maybe certain things she only wants to, explain with, no, a sister of counsel. That's perfectly fine. But this is a nation issue. This is something that the men have to get up
Yeah.
and they have to get involved as
Yes.
well. We can't, I didn't want to do it, but it was something that I was forced into. And I wasn't gonna just let it go by and say, oh, that's too much for me. I just want to go on the street and preach the word. No, the word, doing the work is sometimes issues like this.
Yes.
We have to rise up and we have to take care of these things because we're building a nation here.
It's one thing to be out there teaching, but what happened when you bring the people into the truth? Now what? What else do you have to offer? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so we have to have things set up to help our people that are broken, that are coming into the truth. We have to have this. So, brother, I'm so grateful that the young man have somebody like you to there for him. You know what I mean? And we need more brothers like you. We do. We need more
Yeah.
brothers to get on live stream and speak up for our children, just like you just did. You know,
Yeah.
we need this type
Absolutely.
of interaction in the community. This is what we need. It can't just be the sisters just talking. We need brothers. We need y'all guys. We need you. So
Right.
I'm
Absolutely.
saying thank you for getting on here today and speaking up. And I wish a lot of other brothers would do the same thing because our children are suffering, man. That I have a similar story like you just said, like you just told us. I have a very close friend of mine and his son, who is now in his early 20s. Unfortunately, the boy started being molested at the age of, I believe, 3 or 5 years old, by a cousin of the father. And unfortunately, the young man now in his early 20s is a homosexual, and he's now living with Esau somewhere.
Mm.
His boyfriend is Esau somewhere. So, what we're looking at here is the effect of child molestation that turns into homosexuality. People don't
Right.
understand that. When you molest a child, the child becomes confused. They don't know what the hell they are. They get confused. They get sexually confused, and now they're homosexual. They're sexual deviants and all type of thing. And it's a generational curse that's just passing down to the children over and over. It's a cycle. We have to break that cycle. Our people are overly sexualized. Overly sexualized. The nakedness, the grinding, the twerking, all this, everything has to do with sex, 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 sex all the time. That's the problem. And we need men. We need the men in the homes. We need the brothers. And even if you're not in the home, we need the brothers where the woman can feel and the children can feel safe to go
Right.
to as a covering, as you know, to help the community, man. We need y'all brothers.
Right, right. And speaking on that point, I've gone to the house and so it's a husband and wife. He has his child, which is the boy, and she has her own two. A boy who is around the same age as his son, and then another little daughter. And the mother had told us, she was like, "Yeah, I caught him trying to look at my son and different things, and you need to help. Can you help?" So then when I got to the house, I just got frustrated with it too, because I'm like, I go into the child's room, we see different things, different drawings, and I'm just speaking to them. But this is where it's important for the counsel. Like, as I walk in the house and I walk into the child's room, I see things, I see signs, and I'm like, you all are in this house. Number one, are you not praying? Are you not praying in this house? Like, prayer needs to be done 24/7 in this house. Pray over that child. Maybe sometimes you don't have to yell at him as much,
Right.
because now it's in a sense of where he's rebelling against you, and he's 13, so he think he can run out the door. And in the neighborhood, because of where we live now, there's flags all over, rainbow flags all over. So he thinks he's a part of something,
Yeah.
because of the false narrative that's being spread. But then I also, the child, he's good with art. He's able to, to draw. And he took a superhero, he had a poster of a superhero, Iron Man, from, the movies.
Right.
He had a poster in his room. And, sometimes those things lead to homosexuality too, because they got tights on and everything else. But I noticed that one of the pictures that he drew was the face of Iron Man, but it was the face. I told him, I said, "Look at this picture." I was like, "Y'all haven't noticed this?" I said, "Your son needs help." When we looked at the picture, it's a superhero's face, but the face was sad. The face was sad, and the eyes weren't crying, but they were teary. He made the eyes look like they were, full of tears, about to cry.
Sadness. Right.
But yeah, and I'm telling them, I said, at that point, that's when I took them right to the office to get him involved in the program, because I said, he needs help.
He needs
He
help.
needs help. What are you guys doing? Why are you sitting here? And and they need help. It's not just about the child, but they need counsel too, because they obviously didn't know how to deal with it.
That's
And
exactly what I was gonna say. A lot of our people don't know how to deal with this type of situation. We
right,
don't.
right. So the leaders, I'm calling out to the leaders, any brothers that watch this video, and any sisters, your husbands, inform them, share this video with them, and let them know what I'm saying. It's a lot of work, not just the child and getting medical help, and from a professional who can speak to them about what they've gone through, the trauma that they've gone through, but also the family, the brother needs help, because he's been in denial for so many years,
Mm.
knowing that he allowed his son to get hurt. And one of the things he said, I didn't protect my son. And that's a feeling of guilt.
Guilt.
And now you're beating yourself up.
Right.
And when you get into an argument with your son or whatever the case, the next thing is just try to sweep it under the rug, sweep it under the rug, because, he really was telling me, hey, I don't know, he may have to go into the system. He may have to go into the system. He's pulled knives on me. We're fighting. She doesn't feel safe with him around her kids. And I said, look, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. And you know, if that's going to be the case, that's going to be the absolute last resort. That's going to be the last resort, you know, that he has to go away in the system. But,
Child
you
is
know, I
suffering
had to,
from mental illness.
huh?
The child is suffering from mental illness, from I guess what
Right.
he calls mental illness.
Exactly.
That's what's
Exactly.
happening.
And you know, it encouraged me. I've never done a GoFundMe before, but I created a GoFundMe, and I shared it on my page. And you know, some of the other brothers, you know, Priest Danyala, different brothers, Al Sharala, a lot of the other brothers that, you know, I know, you know, I shared it with them. We basically formed a GoFundMe because uh, you know, they have an insurance, they have Medicaid that covers, but I didn't want money to be the next issue. So just, you know, being proactive, I say, you know what, I want to put together a fund first and foremost to ensure that they don't give me the excuse, oh, we don't have money to send him anymore, or the insurance won't cover it anymore. You
Right.
know, so I think if you pay out of pocket is, you know, no more than $200 per session, you know. So, you know, that's why I was just encouraged to start that, the GoFundMe. And it's on the GoFundMe page, you know, it's about mental health. But I didn't mention molestation is
Right.
mental health, but molestation is a part of this.
Molestation leads to mental illness.
Right,
Yes.
right, right, right. So I'm pretty much just
If
at the
you want,
beginning stage. I said I'm just pretty much at the beginning stage of
okay.
this journey and helping this family. This is recent. This is not something from years ago. This is recent. This is something that we're dealing with now. So that's why I commented and said what I said, because as I'm trying to think of new ideas and new ways to help this family and make sure that for anybody future wise that comes in with the same issues, you know, I'm definitely here and willing to collaborate and seek out help of others in this arena.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Someone asked a very important question here. Can psychologists do they have psychologists in the community? Well, if you guys share this video, and you know, if there's a psychologist out there, a counselor, somebody who's who's been trained on this type of situation that can help children to heal from these type of issues, come forward, let yourself be known, and do something positive in the community. You know what I mean? um Share this video. If you are out there, if you are part of the Hebrew Israelite community, and you are a counselor, a child counselor, a sex abuse counselor, whatever they call it, a psychologist, you know, offer some help to the children in the community. One person cannot do it. We need to come together as a community. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's just a call to action. You know, if anyone wants to connect, I mean, this is our YouTube page, Holy Saints and Apostles. We're on YouTube, on Facebook rather, Holy Saints and Apostles, and you could also message me direct, Masha Ben Judah on Facebook. And you know, definitely we have to come together. We have to connect. We have to have the discussion. I definitely salute you, sisters, for doing this. And I encourage you to continue to do it. I encourage more of the men and the brothers to rise up and and fight for this, because this is our community. And you have to understand that, you know, we know that in the book of Psalms 83, it speaks of crafty counsel, the nations using crafty counsel against us. This is a part of the crafty counsel. You know, the homosexuality. I mean, maybe it would be easier to reach this child with the counseling and with mentoring and tell him, hey, this homosexual thing is not right. You're only doing this because you were molested. It's not a good thing. But because the crafty counsel and the society pushes the gay lifestyle like it's a lifestyle, like it's a political party, like it's something to be a part of. Like that's what we're combating against, because we see him now taking pride in that lifestyle, like he's got support from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, those, you
Yeah.
don't know who these people are. I said, first of all, you going outside, you know, when someone tells him something, he'll sneak out the house and come back at like 8:30 or something to go to sleep. And you know, when they asked him, why are you going out? Why are you running out? You know, he says, oh, I'm all right. I'm gonna be all right. Nobody's gonna, you know, nothing's gonna happen. This is, you know, the city that we live in. You know, it's a lot of gay stuff out there. You know, he it's a false pride. Like he feels that he's safe.
Mm-hmm.
He's safe with. I said, look, there's some weird people out there, and they will snatch you off the ground, off the streets, and do with you what you want. Or if you get put in the house, someone's gonna be doing stuff to you that you're gonna have no control over. You know, and we're battling the mindset. It's all mental. It's a mental health issue. We're battling the mind that they believe that this is okay.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a great work. It's a great work.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you for coming on here. I really do. I
No problem,
appreciate
no problem. Look forward to you know, speaking to you all again. Definitely connect with me, and you know, let's just do what we have to do. You know, we have some things in motion now, but let's not just end it here. Let's really, you know, keep
Absolutely.
pushing. And you know, I felt obligated to let you guys know, because this is something that I'm doing, and I'm also asking for help. You know,
Yeah.
because you know, I'm just doing what I feel is right, and
All right.
you know, the way the Most High is leading me to assist. But maybe you have information, maybe you have techniques and
Right.
skills. Maybe he needs to speak to other people who also have been molested,
Right.
and they're in the community. You know,
Are you in New York, brother?
I'm in New Jersey,
New
so
Jersey.
not far. I'm right in Newark, New Jersey.
You know, I'm offering my help and my time to this child. If he's willing, if his father is willing, I'd like to spend some time with the child. Um, and you know, just let me know. I'll make my time available to this baby. Um, whenever you see fit. Leave your information in the chat here. You know, your channel. You know, your social media. Just put it. Feel free to put it down there in the chat. You know, if anybody wants to reach out to this brother and offer some help. But I'm offering my time to this baby here. I'd like to spend some time with him if
Yes.
it's okay with you guys.
Okay, we'll definitely set that up. I'll leave my information. Also, this is you sisters are part of Maccabees Alliance, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you can always reach out to me through the Maccabees Alliance, as our camp is also with the Mac,
Right.
and you know, all the brothers know me as well. So you know, if you forget or don't see the contact, or maybe because I'm running out to camp now,
Okay.
if by any chance I forget, you could definitely reach out to me through the Maccabees Alliance Council.
Okay. No problem.
All right. So all praises, shalom, and keep up the good
Cool.
work.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Sister Shayar, I'm sorry. You're free to. I know you came on a couple of times and then you keep getting dropped. So Sister Shanice, come on back in. Come on back in, sis. I know you wanted to say something. Come on back in. And if nobody else has anything to say after Sister Shanice, we'll just go ahead and wrap this up. Come on back in, sister. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that you know, sexual molestation sadly leads to, well, you know, for those of you who know, homosexuality is a mental illness. I mean, hello. You know, even though you can't say that nowadays, but that's just what it is. So child molestation and child abuse leads to mental illness, and it oftentimes lead to homosexuality. If the abuse continue over and over and over, it cause significant damage to the child. Significant. Sister Shanice, are you still there? If you're still there, get on back, sis. Get on back. Get on back in. Let me share the screen, the link again. There's a link. There's a link, sis. I know you were on here. You were trying to get on. If you're still able to get on, there's a link again. So we're waiting for a sister to get on. You know, any of you guys have any questions in the chat? I see a lot of you guys have a lot to say today. I want to thank you guys for coming on and joining me. For those of you who came on today, those of you who are in the chat, thank you for caring enough to joining me today. A lot of people don't give a rat's behind about this topic. Some people it didn't happen to them, so they don't care, and some people they're a part of the problem, so they don't want to talk about it. And then you have the victims who are just too afraid to come forward for some reason. If you are a victim of violation, sexual violation, please, for God's sake, take this from me. It's not doing anything, it's not doing you any good to keep this bottled up inside. And if you're not coming forward because somebody in your family is violating you, what you're doing is you're helping that person to get away with it. That's what you're doing. Okay? You're helping that person to continue violating you. If you're being violated, you need to come forward and speak up. Tell somebody. And if listen, I'd rather be homeless. I'd rather be out there somewhere than to be in the home where a father or uncle or cousin or sister or brother or somebody is sexually violating me. I don't want to be around that person. So a lot of people are not speaking up. A lot of these young people that are being violated, they're not speaking up because they're afraid. They're afraid of the person who's doing it. They're afraid that they might get put out. They might get shamed. A lot of people are part of congregation. This is happening to them, and they're afraid that the so-called leaders are gonna, shame them or whatever, or the congregation. If you're a part of any type of congregation like that and that's going on, you don't need to be a part of that congregation, because we can't live like that. We can't live. That's dysfunction. That's dysfunction. Any congregation that covers up violation against children, that whole congregation needs to be dismantled, completely torn apart, and put out of their misery. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? They need to be just put out of their misery, all of them. So, if you're a part of something, okay, Sister Shayar is texting me here. Well, let's try it again, sis. I was listening and waiting again. Come on in, sis. The brother has let me text her. Come on back, sis. Come on back. Come on back. She said it was a bit choppy. All right, get on back, sis. So the brother, is not on here anymore. So we're waiting for you, and then we're just gonna close it out. We're waiting for you to get on. I know you were waiting. So get on back, and then we'll just wrap it up here. So just let me know if you're gonna come on back, sis. All right. Oh yeah, our people are damaged. Our people are damaged beyond. I don't even know, man. That's why the most, dry bones, dry bones, dry bones. Sister Renana, You said you found this channel by accident. You're a subscriber, but you're not in a camp. Well, I thank you for subscribing, sis. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right. I don't know what's happening to Sister Sister Shanice. There, we're waiting for you, sis. But all right. So if you're not gonna come on, I'm just gonna go ahead and close it out. If anybody has any question, or if anybody else wanted to jump on here before I go and say something, it would be nice to have another brother on here. You know, we love to hear from the brothers, man. We like to hear the brothers' perspective on these type of things, because y'all are supposed to be the protector in the community. You know, we want to hear what the protectors have to say. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be looking up to the men as a protector in the community. And when you're silent on these type of issues, you know, that speak volume to me. When the brothers are silent on these type of issues, when you're not speaking up, when you're just talking, when the drama is going on, because a lot of us just talk because we love drama. But when it's really time to get down to the nitty gritty and be a part of the solution, um, you know, we don't want to speak. You know what I mean? I'm only going to take you serious if you take the time to speak up against this publicly. Okay? Because we don't know what's going on in your home. So if I hear from you publicly, then I know you're serious. You said we have patient. We can wait on Sister Shanice. I don't know what happened to her. Maybe she's. Hey, sis, text me back. Let me know what's going on, sis. Give me a text. Send me a text. Because we're waiting for you. We're waiting for you, sis. And if there, like I said, if there's anybody else that has anything to say, you know, just or any questions. All right. I don't know what happened to Sister Shani, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end the live here. This is not the end of this conversation. It's not. Okay. We're gonna continue this conversation, and me personally, we're gonna continue this conversation because we're not gonna be like, oh, we only get excited when some big story hit Facebook. You know what I mean? That's what we do all the time. We get excited when some big story hit Facebook. Oh my God, did you hear what happened? And all of a sudden everybody get excited. And then a couple weeks later, everything calms down, and then we go right back to our normal lives. And then we forget all about it. You see what I'm saying? It's that fake outcry from our people whenever some excitement happens, and then we just go back to our normal life after that. No, this type of issue we have to address all the time because it never ends. It never ends. It's all there's a child out there somewhere that's being abused right now. You know what I'm saying? We have to lift up our voices and speak up against this stuff. So anyway, I thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I am going to try and find a solution, me personally, for those of our children and women and men who have gone through this, who are still going through this. I'm going to try and put together something where you guys can feel comfortable to come and open up, and where we can find some help, some type of help for our people in this community. That's my next project. Okay, that's my next project. I'm going to work on it, and I might need some of y'all help with this. Okay, but this is a big issue, and you know, I'm going to address this. I'm going to address. I'm going to continue to address it, and I'm going to try and find some type of solution to help the victim of this type of situation. All right, and the victims need to come forward, man. Okay, we need to come out of that dark hole and step forward and speak. All right. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Shabbat shalom. All right. And I will speak to you guys another time. And we are going to be staying on this topic. We ain't going, no. We're going to stay on this topic. All right. We got to address it every day, every day until these deviants is brought forward. We're going to continue to this conversation. All right, guys. See you guys later. Shabbat shalom.